Hey everyone, this is Dennis. Just going to give you my first impressions of the new Olympus OM-3. I've tried to shoot this a couple times, ran out of battery the first time. Today, this is such a popular photography spot that I'm getting impromptu roped in to taking portraits of families coming to pose by all the blossoms around here. It's perfect spring weather in Vancouver, which is rare because it's usually raining. Yeah, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this brand new Olympus OM-3 that I purchased with my own money. You might say that buying this was a bit of doom spending, which is a new term that I've learned and I think is very relevant in 2025. I've had a lot of stress this year with work and return to office, as well as with all that's going on in America this season and the tariffs and everything. I feel like yeah, a new camera might come down in price normally, but I feel like this year everything's going to go up in price, so I may as well spend money on it now rather than wait. I don't usually buy new equipment. Typically, I buy cameras that are a couple of years old on the used market. I don't think I've bought a camera this expensive since I bought my first 5D Mark II back in 2008. And you know, that was a more expensive camera, but it took all of my savings and then some to get that back in the day. This is less necessary for me because I already have a lot of cameras now, but I wanted to give it a try. It ticked a lot of the boxes that I was waiting for in Micro Four Thirds. There've been a couple higher end Micro Four Thirds cameras in the last couple of years, but they've all been quite big, like the Olympus OM-1 and the Panasonic G9 II and the GH7. Those were all large size cameras. This is the first one that's come out that's medium size. It's still bigger than the OM-5 or the G100 that I'm recording this on. So it's bigger than my ideal size, but it has all the modern features. And so if you want to stay in Micro Four Thirds, this is probably as good as you're going to get in 2025. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the ergonomics of the camera. So you can see, first things first, I have added a grip onto the camera body, and that's because the way that it's built, there's no grip at all and I can't hold on to it. So for ergonomics, I need a grip. I find a big grip is too much. Like on the OM-1, I feel like the grip is too big, but no grip is too small. So I'll have to like get a small to medium sized grip here to make the camera holdable. Without it, I get a lot of wrist pain. With it, it's quite easy to hold. It's good size, it has a lot of controls, everything's easy to access and switch. I'm not super familiar with all the buttons yet, but that's why I've only had it for less than 2 weeks. First impressions about image quality. I don't see a huge difference in image quality from my other 20 megapixel 4/3 cameras. That's not to say the image quality is bad. I don't have any issues with those cameras. So I also don't have any issues with the image quality here. I haven't tested it extensively in high ISO or other situations that might be challenging. So far so good, but we'll see. There's lots of higher quality modes like the high res shots and stuff like that I barely even figured out how to turn on yet. I just haven't had the chance to use it that much. One thing I do have generally positive first impressions about is the autofocus system. This is several generations more advanced than any other camera that I own, and I think it has like 1,000 autofocus points. And mostly I've tested it out on the bird and animal subject detect autofocus, and yeah, that feels like a cheat code. I mean, animal and bird photography is not my bread and butter, but it was, you know, it's just been fun to go to the park, take some photos of some of the ducks and animals you're around, and it just locks right onto their eyes. It's kind of like a superpower. So in that regard, it is dramatically better than any camera I've used before. On the other hand, something I don't have the greatest first impression of is the video quality. On the plus side, there's a dedicated wheel for switching between stills, video, and slow motion modes, as well as 5 customizable settings that you can store video settings for separate from your photo settings. So all of that is good. But when I compare the raw image quality to my professional video camera, I can see that it's just not comparable. That being said, you can attach an Atomos recorder on top of the camera if you need even higher video quality, so you can actually record raw with that. The workflow gets a little complicated. I've tested it out and I can see that it is much better, but that would be a hassle. So anyway, the idea of this being my dream hybrid camera is probably not quite there. If you're not so picky, if you just want good enough quality, I mean, certainly this will do the job. It has dedicated controls for video. It does shoot 4K, 60 frames a second and 10-bit, so checks those boxes. The autofocus is good. Stabilization is fine. So on paper, all of that sounds pretty good. But it's not necessarily a camera you want to use professionally for video, is my first impression. We'll see after I've used it and learned how to set it up quite a bit more. The log footage is also a bit of a hassle to work with. Okay, so like I said, I've only had the camera for just under 2 weeks, and I'm still figuring everything out. There's at least 50% of the features I haven't even tried. A lot of the computational stuff I haven't tried. The color mode on the front I haven't used at all, and I don't really expect to because I mostly shoot raw, so JPEG profiles isn't really my thing. But clearly there's a lot of features for me to learn. This has the new menu system, which is also an improvement, but different from what I'm used to. So that'll take getting used to. Anyway, I expect I'll be shooting with this camera for quite a while before I put out an actual review, maybe 4 to 6 months. Then I'll have like a real impression of how to use it. I do expect this to be my main serious photography camera for 2025. And hopefully it will do everything that I need. But yeah, these have just been my first thoughts about owning and using the camera. And we'll be talking more about it in future videos. All right. Thanks for your time, everybody. Leave your thoughts in the comments as always, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.